Welcome back, my friends. Today, we hear news that Google's management has issued a code red alert. The reason is the rising popularity of the ChatGPT online artificial intelligence system. If you have never tried the ChatGPT artificial intelligence system, you should. It is an online system that responds with answers and knowledge about almost any subject. And it is competitive with Google search. This comes at a critical time for Google. Ad revenue is softening, and competitive threats are emerging from almost everywhere. But I would say that ChatGPT is especially competitive. And this comes at a time when Google is rumored to be considering layoffs. If you follow this channel, you already know that layoffs at Google are the 800-pound gorilla in the room. All of the news speculating that Google will soon have layoffs is starting to cause concern among Google employees. Google CEO Sundar Pichai faced live questions from a large group of Google employees recently. And it was not pretty. In other videos, I have reported that Google recently overhauled its employee performance evaluation system. Word on the street is that top management has ordered 6% of Google employees to get a failing grade. That seems to suggest that Google will have a 6% layoff, or around 10,000 people. But there has been no formal announcement so far. And it is the holiday season and not a good time to announce layoffs. Unless you are Elon Musk, that is. Signs seem to point to a sizable layoff at Google in January. Is Google using recession fears to clean house? Google has been under pressure for about a year now. Google stock is down 30% in the past year. The United States economy is teetering on the brink of recession. And corporate ad spending is plummeting. Google is more at risk than most people think. And because of that, practically everyone is now waiting for the other shoe to drop regarding layoffs. We cover this topic closely on this channel. That is because this is the subject of the most widely viewed videos on this channel. I know everyone is waiting to hear updated information about Google, and I will keep you updated. What does it mean for big tech companies? What does it mean for the economy? And what does it mean for the future of the United States? But before we get into all of that, please press the like button and leave us a comment below. We would love to hear from you. Please subscribe and hit the bell icon so that you are notified of upcoming videos when they are released. Google has issued a code red over the rise of the AI bot ChatGPT. CEO Sundar Pichai responded by redirecting some teams to focus on building out artificial intelligence products. The move comes as talks abound over whether Google is losing competitiveness. Potentially, ChatGPT could one day replace Google's search engine. Google's management has issued a code red competitiveness alert. It comes in the wake of the launch of ChatGPT just last month. ChatGPT has become incredibly popular in just 1 month. It is a conversational artificial intelligence chatbot. ChatGPT was created by OpenAI. Not surprisingly, it has sparked concerns over the future of Google's popular search engine. The New York Times broke the story of how seriously Google is taking ChatGPT. Google CEO Sundar Pichai has sounded the competitiveness alarm at Google. Pichai has participated in several meetings around Google's AI strategy. He has directed numerous groups in the company to refocus their efforts. It is now a high priority for Google engineers to focus on addressing the threat that ChatGPT poses. Specifically, ChatGPT is a competitive threat to Google's search engine business. Apparently, the New York Times uncovered an internal memo issued inside Google. And the Times discovered an audio recording from inside Google. In particular, teams in Google's research, trust, and safety division are engaged in the internal discussions. But other departments are also involved, including several artificial intelligence groups. These important teams have been directed to switch gears. They are now being redirected to assist in the development and launch of artificial intelligence prototypes and products. Some employees have been redirected to build artificial intelligence products that generate art and graphics. This is similar to OpenAI's DALL-E. DALL-E is used by millions of people these days. Google did not respond to reporters' request for comment. Google's move to build out its artificial intelligence product portfolio has gained momentum. ChatGPT has Google employees and experts debating its potential. It is run by Sam Altman, a former president of Y Combinator. According to Altman, ChatGPT has the potential to replace the Google search engine. And that will definitely hurt Google's ad revenue business model. If you follow this channel, you already know that Google's ad revenue business model is under enough threats. ChatGPT could prevent users from clicking on Google links with ads, said Sridhar Ramaswamy, who oversaw Google's ad team between 2013 and 2018. Google's ad team generated $208 billion in revenue in 2021. And that was 81% of Alphabet's overall revenue for last year. ChatGPT has amassed over 1 million users in just 5 days after its public launch in November. It has the capability to generate singular answers to many types of questions. And it responds in a conversational, human-like way. It works by collecting information from millions of websites. Users have asked the chatbot many types of questions. To write a college essay, provide coding advice, and even serve as a therapist. But there are still some issues and problems. It seems to be riddled with errors. It is unable to fact-check what it says, and can't distinguish between a verified fact and misinformation. It can also self-create answers that might not be correct. Artificial intelligence researchers call this phenomenon hallucinations. ChatGPT is also capable of generating racist and sexist responses. Its margin of error is extremely high and wide, and it is vulnerable to toxic responses. These are some of the reasons that Google is hesitant to release its own artificial intelligence chatbot LaMDA. LaMDA is short for Language Model for Dialogue Applications. Google executives are understandably reluctant to release it widely in its current state. That relates to concerns over reputational risk. Chatbots are not something that people can use reliably on a daily basis, said Zubin Garamani, who leads the Google's AI lab Google Brain. Google may decide to take a different approach by focusing on improving its search engine over time. But Google has been working on new artificial intelligence products for some time now. Google might show a demonstration at Google's annual developer conference, I/O. I/O is expected to take place in May. Meanwhile, Google is rumored to be planning for layoffs. Google's CEO won't promise layoffs aren't coming. There was yet another, even more tense all-hands inside Google. Google employees once again pushed CEO Sundar Pichai to comment on the possibility of layoffs. His response was that it's tough to predict the future. Google employees have been worried about layoffs for a while. Pretty much every technology company has announced layoffs. Add to that a whole bunch of media companies, and some retail companies, as well as some car companies. Really, all of the search giants' peers in big tech have cut jobs. The recent weeks and months have been ruthless on tech employees. If you follow this channel, you know that Google has been cutting costs. Google merged Google Maps with Waze, another huge mapping app. Google is finally facing slower growth. In the speech, he said that Google needs to become 20% more productive. Many Google observers are interpreting this to mean that Google is going to have a 20% layoff. Tech companies of all sizes are facing economic challenges like never before in their histories. The United States economy is teetering on the brink of recession. Inflation is raging. The Federal Reserve is aggressively raising interest rates to fight inflation. And most importantly, corporate marketers have cut ad budgets dramatically. Add to that the fact that there is increased competition from TikTok for these fewer ad dollars. So Google is definitely and suddenly swimming in unfamiliar waters. For almost 20 years now, working at Google was synonymous in abundance of fun employee perks. Now, and maybe for the first time, Google employees are seeing how the other 99% lives. Google reported Q2 financial results in July, and it was not pretty. Earnings and revenue missed Wall Street expectations by a lot, and for the second consecutive quarter now. Wall Street analysts now expect annualized sales growth to be in the single digits. And that is down from 40% in the third quarter of last year. Basically, this means that growth at Google, to the extent that it exists anymore, is pretty pedestrian and no better than average public companies. Lots of CEOs have blamed deteriorating macroeconomic conditions for disappointing earnings in Q2. Pichai also used that excuse. The external macroeconomic pressures are definitely a negative force. Many outside observers are saying that Google is basically using this as an excuse to clean house. Google has over 150,000 employees. But its stock is down 27% since the start of the year. Shareholder pressure is mounting on Google. Google is now shifting its focus to artificial intelligence. But what do you think? Please leave us a comment below and hit the like button. We would love to hear from you. Please subscribe and hit the bell icon so that you are notified of upcoming videos when they are released. Please share this video on social media. Thank you for watching.